Hi, I'm John Forro. Today, I want to share with you a little tech tip on recording features of your launch equipment. So we're going to use a scan tool as an example here. Remember, you could also record screens from your scope as well. Operation is very similar. Now there's two different types of recording in the scan tool section here. I can record data stream, and then I can always share that data stream with reviewing it after I come back from a road test, or share it with my fellow technician sitting next to me. But I can also record every single screen and every button that I push on this scan tool. And in the tech-to-tech section of your scan tool, this is something that you might be able to send it to the so-called expert on that particular car line that's maybe at a whole different shop in your fleet of shops that you work for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into read data stream here. We'll let the vehicle load itself into the database of the scan tool. And I'm not going to have the car running. The principle of recording it's going to be the same whether the car is running or not. So I have at this page here, I can either select all the different PIDs or I could select key individual PIDs. So this is something that if you were trying to diagnose a specific problem, maybe you don't want to record them all, but for sake of video purposes, I'm just going to say select them all. And I'm going to say okay. Now, when I pull up this screen here, notice I have the traditional screen that's going to allow me to do everything from scrolling up and reading each one of the PIDs here. I have the graphing feature over to the side of it. I have a saving of a sample here, but notice in the far right hand corner I have record. So let's go ahead and hit the record button, and you'll notice that right away it starts to record. So if I was trying to find an intermittent drivability type of problem or possibly electrical problem, whatever the case happens to be, I could then go ahead and take this vehicle on a road test dynamically. This is one example where recording could be very beneficial. I could concentrate on the road traffic, and when I'm all done recording, I can then go ahead and hit the stop button, and it tells me how it saved it here. So it's enter the file name. I can actually type something in, or I can just try to remember this here. So depending on your current time status at the shop that you're working at, as long as you remember the actual code here, that's fine. You don't have to type it in. It might be beneficial for you if you wanted to record all these vehicles that you actually type something in, like 2014 Ford Flex and possibly something along those lines. So I'm going to say okay. It tells me that it's been saved successfully, and I can always go in and review that information. Let me show you here real quick. If I go to the home button real quick, scroll up and hit screen recorder on the side, at this point, anything I do on this scan tool screen will actually be recorded. Now, the real benefit to this that I see as a technician is once I hit that record button, how I got to the screen, the type of vehicle, if I had to prompt it from the very beginning of telling it it's a 2014 Ford, or maybe when I was hooking up my lab scope or whatever the case happens to be, every button push is going to be prompted, as well as everything that's on every one of those screens at the time. Now, this does have an internal memory storage. It can store to that, or you can put the little flash card in on the side over there and record to that as well. So if I hit the record button here, it tells me it's going to start capturing as soon as I hit the Start Now button. So I hit the Start Now button, and notice that the little arrow went away and I now have a stop button there. So I'm going to go ahead, and anything that I pushed on the screen would be recorded while this is happening, while I'm in this mode. Again, the real benefit to using a screen like this, as far as I'm concerned as a technician, is all the tech type of features that we have. Maybe you got a franchise, and maybe at one location there's an expert from General Motors that works there, and you're having a General Motors really giving you a hard time in your service bay. Go ahead and record all this and share it with that individual and see if they can offer you some insight. Again, this is a little tech tip on how to do the recording features of your scan tool. Your scope has very similar features, operates the exact same way. I'll see you next time.